I have had a very interesting journey with food. I was really sick as a kid. It was very difficult to get answers. I searched for almost a decade looking for what was going on. Eventually, I got diagnosed in my 20s with celiac disease. Celiac disease is an autoimmune condition. There's these finger-like projections in the small intestines called villi that when exposed to gluten, it destroys those villi. Those villi are responsible for absorbing all of our nutrients from our food. If you can imagine what happens to your body when you can't absorb nutrients, that you just kind of become a shell of a person, that you lack vitamins, you lack energy, and your body can really just attack itself from there. It can be very isolating to be changing your entire diet and changing your social life, not being able to go out with friends. And when you're so concerned about food and how food is going to hurt you, there's relations to disordered eating because food becomes the enemy. When you're going through that by yourself, it can be pretty emotional to go through that. Eventually, I changed my outlook on it, that I wanted to learn more about cooking. I wanted to teach myself more, and that it's so empowering to see how much nutrition can change your life. It made me realize how much I want to help people understand a very not understood disease. Today I am making a pan-grilled zucchini with garlic tomatoes. I love zucchinis, they're very versatile, and this is one of my favorite recipes with them. To start, we'll take our zucchini and we want to slice these down the middle long way. And with scoring, we want to cut diagonal across the zucchini, but make sure you don't cut all the way through. So something cool with this technique is it's going to allow for a much bigger surface area to get browned, and the flavor is going to go into those little crevices that we're creating. Zucchini is actually a great source of fiber. They're a great source of vitamin C. There's a lot of water in them. You have that beautiful crisscross so you can kind of see that it bends without breaking through. And next you want to add a deliberate amount of salt on top of each one. This is going to help draw the moisture out of the zucchini because it contains so much water. I didn't really measure this out, so as much as you feel you need to cover the top, we'll let that stay. We can start cutting up our shallot. I love using shallots. They're a little bit more mild than an onion, and the flavor gets a little bit more sweet when you cook with them. You want to remove the outer layers as you would with an onion. I think they're amazing. They're a great source of vitamin C as well, but they can still make your eyes water like onions too. And next we're gonna cut up some garlic. So I'm mincing the garlic because I want it nice and tiny. That way when we're grilling with the oil and the butter, it's gonna make a great sauce. A fun fact about garlic: the chemical that's responsible for the smell of garlic is called allicin, which I love because that's my name. Next, I'm gonna start cutting the tomatoes. I chose cherry tomatoes because I like that there's a little bit more of the skin and it's less juicy. Tomatoes are also a great source of vitamin C. Next, got some fresh Parmesan. And it just melts so beautifully on top. It's like little clouds. And again, the recipe calls for about 2 tablespoons, but feel free to add as much or as little as you like, because I think Parmesan or cheese on top is to taste. Perfect. Now that our zucchini's been sitting here for at least a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, we'll wipe off the salt with a paper towel. So I let the salt sit because it helps draw the moisture out of the zucchini. So it's gonna change how the zucchini fries in the pan with the oil. This will kind of help prevent as much splattering from the oil. You can see still how much moisture is being pulled up through the paper towel. Got our nice clean and dry zucchini. And you can see the color change after our little salt bath. And we are ready to cook. So I have my pan, I'm starting to get it warm. I want that on medium heat for this size. I'll get some pepper on the zucchini. I'll add some of the oil, about half of that. And as that's getting around in our pan, we want that kind of coating the bottom. Perfect. Next, we want to put our zucchini face down into this oil. And make sure that they're not too crowded. So you see how this pan has lots of room for all 4 of the zucchini halves to sit flat in the pan. Then you want to do this until the zucchini is nearly tender, and we'll flip them over. That will take about 10 minutes depending on how much browning you'd like on the zucchini. Our zucchini has been searing for a few minutes now, and want to kind of peek over to see how the browning's going. We see that they've browned a bit more. If this looks good to you, you can stop here. We're at a pretty good tender feeling. So I'm gonna flip them over. I typically brown them a little bit more for myself, but this looks really pretty. I love seeing the caramelization going on. And next, I'm going to add some butter to the dish. We're gonna let some of that melt. And we'll add about half of the garlic that we have minced. And this is where you can begin using the spoon to grab some of that garlic butter and pour over the top. So now once you see that the garlic has been pretty distributed around the zucchini, you can leave some of the leftover sauce in there. We can take the zucchini out. And they're pretty tender right now, so be careful not to rip them in half. Perfect. All right, with all of that butter and garlic in there, I'm gonna add the remaining of the garlic to our pan, our shallots. We're just gonna mix that in and let the garlic and shallots brown. It's okay that we have some of that caramelization in the pan. That's just gonna add some flavor. Once you start seeing that it's a little bit translucent, that's a good time to add our tomatoes. Get these nice and buttered up with our garlic and shallots. It'll be a perfect topping for the zucchini. I'm looking for a little bit of browning. The color is changing a little bit through here. It's a little bit lighter. Then you put your tomatoes on the top of the zucchini with that beautiful sauce. And with the Parmesan cheese, you can add as much or as little as you'd like. Just a little extra dusting on top. And then you are ready to serve. You can use this as a great side dish. I love to serve this over quinoa with a protein on the side. And this is my favorite zucchini dish. Thank you so much.